Well, hello, 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 and welcome. Happy Thursday. Today is Elegant Sentiments weekly card share number 36, and I am delighted to be here with you today. Today we are working, if you give me just 1 second, I want to make sure that I can get to my comments on my phone here. So let's see. It looks like we're good to go there. Okay, so let me put my phone on the hook here, and then we'll go ahead and get going. Okay, all right. So today we're crafting again with some Lisa Horton products. I just love her products, and they are so fun to work with, and I love florals, so it's really going just my way, just fine. Hi Debbie, how are you? I'm doing great. I'm so glad to see you, and thank you for joining me. um I apologize if you can hear the mowing in the background. Normally the mowers are here early in the morning, but we had rain, and so they're here right now. So it's 7 o'clock here, but they're out there mowing. So I'm just thankful that they're here so I don't have to do it. But anyway, so we got some more Lisa Horton products today. We're going to be using Swirling Leaves. That's one of the products for today's card. And then we're also going to be, we're going to be using the Tea Rose embossing folder. And they're coming, we'll do that. Debbie, my tulips have come and gone. They were beautiful while they were here. I was able to keep the deer out of them, so I was really happy about that. But yes, they were lovely, and so I'm just waiting for them to die back enough that I can cut them back and prepare again for next year. And we're also going to be using the Tea Rose layering stencils. And then for the sentiment, we're using a PinkFresh Studio product. They have a foiling plate, which I used for my sentiment, but you can also stamp with them, and then they have a die. And I love that all of these pieces are a single piece, so you can get multiple sentiments at one time with one die cut. So these are called Perfect Sentiments by PinkFresh Studios, and I really like that. So the ink colors that we're using for today's project are these two. We're going to be using Coral Beach and Rusty Nails, and both of these are Lisa Horton inks. So today's project is this one. It's a birthday card, and it uses the Tea Rose embossing folder and stencils, and then the Swirling Leaves folder. And then we did use some pops from scrapbook.com. We used the gold. What color is this one? This is called Champagne, that we used to do some highlighting. And then of course there's that stencil. So this is today's project. And we used a piece of, this is pecan pie cardstock from Stampin' Up. So that is the project for today. And I will go ahead and get my Ultimate tool out, and we'll get started with some ink blend. Let me see if I can cover that up. That light is so distracting, and I apologize, but it sits right over top of my desk, which is great when I'm working, but not so great when I'm trying to film. So there are actually 7 stencils in this stencil set, but we're only going to be using 6 of the stencils. And we'll take a sheet of white cardstock. This piece is cut to 4 by 5 1/4, but it really doesn't matter what it's cut to, because we're actually going to die cut this stencil piece out when we're done. So we'll go ahead and put down stencil number 1, and these are the leaves, and I made leaves even though I don't think my flower looks like it has dead leaves, but these leaves are rusty nails, which is this brown color. So we'll just go ahead and get these leaves stenciled on. And this is a little stencil, so it goes really quickly getting the ink down and the stenciling done. I'm telling you, I am just such a big fan now of stenciling. I I don't know that it's going to be hard for me to go back to actually using my markers and coloring, because I'm so addicted to these stencils. But I'll get back to it eventually. I'm not that great of a colorist, so that's why I like stenciling so much, because you don't have to be good at coloring, because the stencils do all of the work. Really, you just have to put ink in the holes, and I can manage that pretty easily. So I think that's why I like it so much, because it is really easy to do. And then Lisa Horton stencils they're just fabulous, I'm telling you. So if you don't have any, you should definitely give them a try, because you will love them, I'll tell you. So let's see here. We'll go ahead and take the ink off of this stencil. This is the first stencil in the Tea Rose stencil set that coordinates with that embossing folder. We'll take stencil number 1 out, and then we'll go with stencil number 2. And for number 2, we're putting down the gorgeous rose. This is the first layer of the gorgeous rose, so we will cover up those rusty nails, and we'll bring on the Coral Beach and just go in with our ink blending. Easy peasy, I'm telling you. And I say this all the time, it's like coloring, so it's very relaxing to do ink blending. And I know I sound like a broken record, but I can't say enough about it, because it's fun. Have any of you tried ink blending, or do you do a lot of ink blending? What's your favorite coloring method, I guess I should ask? Anybody got any favorites that you like? Just pop that in the comments and let me know. And if there's something you think I need to give a try, let me know that too. Okay, and we'll come in the middle with a little more color. But it goes pretty quickly. And this is a pretty good size rose, because as you can see, it covers a big portion of this that white cardstock underneath is 4 by 5 1/4, so it's covering up a big part. And you can see there on the actual demo that I made, the demo project, it covers a big portion of that card front. So a quick and easy one to do for sure. And that's I'm with you, Debbie. I try not to color if I don't have to. I'm either going to ink blend or stamp. And right now, I've found this ink blending is a great way for me to color without coloring. And then we'll put a little more detail with stencil number 3 onto this one. And this is using both the leaves and the rose. So we'll put additional color here. Add some contrast to our rose. Darken some of these spots up a bit. And it is so simple to do. I'll show you when I'm done. I did this in another color, one of my it's become one of my favorite color combinations. I did another one, and I'll show you that one when I'm done, so you can have an idea. There's, I mean, sky's the limit on the color combinations as far as that goes. So that's it for the Coral Beach on this one. So we're going to pull out the rusty nails and go back over. I have, this is, Debbie, this is Lisa Horton's Ultimate tool. And I like it because it has all of her stencils have these little holes punched in it. And then this grid will, you could just put it on there. And that way you don't have to worry about your stencils moving around, even if you don't have, let me get a piece of scrap here. Even if you don't have, a sticky mat down. I've got a sticky mat under this, but this tool will keep those stencils in the same place, so you're sure that you are lining it up correctly every time. So it really makes it really foolproof. And this tool actually has a lot of other things on the other side of it. There's a scoreboard. It comes with a take your pick tool from in Stampin' Up! Vernacular. And it also has a die that you can use to cut the holes into existing dies that you may have. And you can use then those stencils with this tool as well. It's a really handy tool. She also sells a sticky mat for it. I've got my own sticky mat in there, but that's what I'm working on. It's the Ultimate 2. I think she has several versions, but this is Ultimate number 2. And we'll wipe off some of the color here off the stencil. Try not to move ink onto a part that doesn't belong. Okay. So that's the stencil number 3. With stencil number 4, we're back to adding more detail to the rose. Cover up this rusty nails with the Coral Beach. And here we go with this. Very simple. Nice and quick. We're just adding more highlight to the rose with this one. Okay. And I think that'll take care of this stencil. Okay. And then for stencil number 5, we're adding the next to the last bit of detail on the rose. Just putting some streaks on there. And there we go. All right. Working our way around, picking up all these lines. Going in both directions. I think we got them all. And see, yep, we got them off. That looks pretty good. Let me wipe off this stencil. And then stencil number 6 will add a little bit more color to the center of the rose, but I want to keep that lighter. So I'm not going to add that one, but I am going to add this final center stencil to add color to the center that we're going to cover up with some pops of color here in just a second. But this will be my guide, so I need that on there. Okay, so that's it. That's all the coloring ink blending that we're going to do for this project. And it looks really nice right now. And what we're going to do next is go ahead and die cut this out. And then when we're done die cutting it, we'll run it through the embossing folder. And that's where you're going to get all that beautiful dimension and just gorgeous color. Let's see. And this probably takes the longest in making sure you get it lined up so you have an even border all around. And I tape it, I like to tape it in a couple of places just so it doesn't shift. Okay, that's good. So it doesn't shift when I do run it through my die cut machine. Okay. I think I got it straight. It looks pretty straight. Pretty even, I should say. It's not straight at all, but I think I'll have it even. Okay, so I'll be off camera for just a second to run this through my die cut machine. Okay, bring that back, and then we'll go ahead and, my plates are dirty. I really do need to clean them off because I got all kinds of stuff that popped onto my flower that's not part of the flower. Okay. My die cut plates are very well loved. So we'll go ahead and pop this off. Okay. Get that off of there. And go all around. I try not to put too much of the tape onto the actual inking, but I have to have some. So I think we did pretty good with getting a nice border around this. So we'll get that out of the way. And then the next thing we're going to do is emboss this using the coordinating embossing folder. But before we do that, I want to just put a little bit of water on the back just to make sure that it's not going to crack the fiber of the paper. So we'll just do a little light mist on the back, and then we'll stick it into the embossing folder. There we go. And watch me keep my fingers off of that. Okay, so we'll line that up, which is pretty easy to do most times. I think we've got it lined up there correctly. And take a piece of tape. Stick that on the back, just keep that in place. I think, is that, yeah, that looks pretty good, I think. Oh yeah, you should play, Debbie, because I'm telling you, it is so much fun. And let's see, okay, there we go. All right, I think I got it. So let me run this through my embossing machine. Just hang on, give me a second off camera here. And take this off. And I have to be careful because the tape wants to stick more tightly to the embossing. So I have to be real careful when I take that tape off, but we got it. And so there we are. Look at all that. I don't know if you can see all that detail, but it is really, really nice. Nice detail there. So I've gone ahead and done the other prep work to finish up the card. I did, I embossed the envelope flap, and then I used some of the pops of color on the dotted parts of the embossing folder. And then I took my sentiment that's already been hot foiled, and I added some foam tape to the back of it. And then this is a A2 size card base for the butter pecan. I'm thinking about ice cream. The pecan pie cardstock is 4 1/8 by 5 7/8. And then we have this embossed piece with the swirling leaves is 4 by 5 1/4. So I've already put that all together. It's all adhered and ready for our flowers. So I'll just go ahead and add a little bit of glue to the back of the flower. And this is the easy part, All of it is really easy though. None of the cards that I make, you're not gonna typically, every now and again, I might get a little complicated, but for the most part, I like easy and elegant. So my cards will be really easy to do. And yes, you get a nice 3D embossing with these folders, Debbie. They're very nice. Let's see. I think I know if I didn't get down here. So I've ordered some glue strips that I can just stick my die cuts on, because I never remember to die cut with the adhesive sheet. So I'm gonna try that out and see how that works, and I can add that after the fact, and just give this a little light press to make sure it's got some good contact there. Give it a chance to connect to the raised part. And then we're going to take our pops of color. These are champagne. This is champagne bottle. They have a ton of colors. And we'll just go ahead and do some dots in the center just to give it a little shimmer. And I'm using those dots that I stenciled on. That's why I wanted to, oops, got more than I wanted on that one. I used that last stencil that we did to help, because I knew I wanted to do this in the center of the flower. And so that's why I went ahead and did that part, even though I'm covering them up with my little shimmery dots here. there's one there. One right there. Oops. And if you get more than you want, you can take your pick tool and separate them. Do a little surgery. There. And then I did the same thing on these little dots that are on the stencil, these of the little flourishes there. I just put some, come on out. Put some dots on those flourishes. I guess I can, there we go. There they go. And wanting to stay in that bottle. I was trying not to do that. I was trying not to squeeze too hard because I didn't want a big glob to come out. And that's what happened when I squeezed a little bit too hard. But you can take your pick tool, clean that up very easily. And then there's 3 of these that I want to do. So we'll just keep going. Hopefully we won't have to do too much surgery. And then this one, just a little bit is showing over here. And you can add as much or as little as you want, but I just thought those flourishes, since there were just a few of them, that would be an easy way to add a little extra touch, a little extra bling without using gems. Okay. And then the last thing that we need to do is put the sentiment on. I've already put some foam adhesive on the back of these. So I got to take off all these little covers. They tend to stick to me more than they do anything else. But we'll get them off and get them on. Get this onto our card base. And then I'll show you the other color that I used. It's a little more bold. This is a little softer look. And the other one is a little bit more bold, but it's the exact same design. So I want to make sure I get that straight. Get off my finger. Let's see. Hold that up for a second. I'm sorry. I think it's straight. And then a light little tap there to get that connected. And then that is the project. And let me show you too this other color. So this was Rusty Nails and Coral Beach with this color. And then I also did one in Garden Sage and Natural Turquoise. So that's this one. The same design. I used a different sentiment. This is a stamped in black using that same sentiment set. But again, I really thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you like the projects. If you do, please give me a like, a thumbs up on my videos. Thank you for commenting. Thank you so much for coming. I will be back next week with another card to share. I hope that you will be back as well. And be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and let other people know I'm out here. So I'm trying to get the word out about what I'm doing. So thank you again so much, and you live graciously until I see you next week. Bye for now.